is like a diamond, with many facets, each one representing another view into the whole. Each is its own little world with its different friends, different experiences, but each one holds moments which tell us more about the life we think we know. The sum of those facets is a good measure of the person we love. It's especially good for children, grandchildren, who don't know the full story, for sure. That's where I come in. I'll take you back to the beginning. Merle Blair came from what is often referred to by himself as a kind of magic little town, Independence, Kansas, in the southeast corner of the state. It was the kind of small town often depicted in movies and books as the perfect place to raise children. And that meant it was the perfect place to grow up, where you got up early on the 4th of July morning to shoot off your firecrackers before the parade came down the flat line of Main Street. Life began with high school, carefully organized between classes and sports, dances and cars. There was a root beer stand where everyone went if he had a car, a bum ride with a friend. Girls would usually pile in the old 47 Chevy while the boys would fill up the Ford with loud mufflers for the dual exhaust going off. It was on a street that led right along the Burgess River up a hill into the best city park that you've ever seen. It had a zoo, which was big for a town of about 10,000. The most exciting thing in the summer was that at night, families with small children would drive around the fountain in Riverside Park that would change lights with the water. So it was the precursor of the Bellagio in Vegas. And what happened in Independence stayed in Independence. Not because we were hiding anything, but because to us, it was the center of the world that leads to the high school students, and that world didn't go much past the city limits of Independence. It wasn't long before Merle was on top of that, good looking, straight as an arrow, pretty much what we would later see in life. He was nurtured and shaped by that magic little town. School was the biggest part of life in those teen years, but there was more. The phrase "it takes a village" means that everyone plays a role, because the years 15 through 19 are especially critical. Young minds beginning to open up and look around to figure out what they want to be, who it wants to be like. There were two individuals, especially important to Merle in those years. One was his first real boss, Nelson Rupert, the owner and general manager of radio station KIND, a 250-watt daytime station where Merle learned the business, and I mean, learned it better than any other time. He learned how to do his job. He learned how to read the news. He learned how to do commercials, and even sent the studio up for self-inspired preachers who came up from Oklahoma. They would open the Bible, lean back, and with a look toward heaven, they would become a vessel for God's Word. It wasn't long before they were praying for the nice young man running the controls in the next room. And I always wondered, did the Word run out so they could have to fill to get to the next passage in the Bible? Mr. Rupert was the perfect boss because he took the radio business very seriously and made his stable of broadcasters treated that way too. Merle was getting a lot more than $1.35 an hour. He was getting a future. Mr. Rupert had a big record library filled with music of the dead. Rock and roll had not been uncorked. Bill Kurtis comments and Walk Around the Clock. Or Elvis Presley. He was 1 year away from the Heartbreak Hotel when Merle graduated from Independence Community College. Playing music from the big library meant Merle was primarily exposed to big bands of the 40s. had balladeers like Bing Crosby and Frank Sinatra, Ella Fitzgerald. As I was looking through his career, I ran across his now famous Sunday radio show. The last one we produced within weeks of his death. It featured Bing Crosby, Frank Sinatra, and Ella Fitzgerald. And I smiled. In Kansas, there is a reason our roots run so deep you can't pull them up. There's a reason they're so strong you can build a career on them, or rebuild a college, or rebuild a city, or even a nation. Merle and I were talking several years ago about our first boss, Mr. Rupert. At 88, he moved the station out to the transmitter building to save her. And he was running it by himself, all alone. There were thunderstorms moving through Independence, potential tornadoes. I happened to be there with my parents, and I went immediately to the radio, as we always do. Coffee with KGGF was playing music. All the other stations were on their automatic programming computer. The KIMD came through loud and clear, an old familiar voice, reading wire copy about the advancing weather system coming through Independence. It was required. He gave a talk every morning, and I said to Merle, that's the kind of foundation that we got in a part-time job there in high school that stayed with us all our lives and set us on a course for the future. How lucky we were. At age 88, with no one else up there, Mr. Rupert did what was in his blood, what he knew his community needed. He died several years after, at those very controls. So Merle, tell him thanks for me. The other solid figure in Merle's formative years was a coach, Ava Lemon, former Washington Little who was coaching at Independence High School and college. You never believe it looking at him, 5 feet 9 inches tall, and he'd be a little All-American. And I couldn't say that he was let's go have a drink kind of guy. But he was some Merle. I think second only to his father as a pillar of how you should act in your life. Role model, maybe mentor, now certainly that would fit. But it was more than that. He had values that he would impress upon you without spelling them out one through 10. He would yell with a style that I could throw an instructor forever. He would shout, he would push, he would demonstrate there in the football field to make you focus on what you were doing, because it was important to achieve a goal. To see that passion and commitment up close when you're a teenager leaves a mark. Merle played football and basketball for Cato during Cato's years, and because they were the early years, he probably got the toughest lessons as Cato learned his craft. Later on, he would mellow, because when Merle graduated from Independence Community College in 1955, it would be only 2 years when Cato started a string of high school football victories that would become the longest in Kansas history. 47-48, depending on which old timer you talk to. And whether he was sober. What do we get into Merle Blair? He jumped to Washington University, led both football and basketball, thanks to that start with Cato, and thanks to the foundation of Radio Nelson. He became the voice of Washington University football and basketball from 1961 to 1981. I guess I followed Merle's example after football under Cato in high school and here at ICC. Too many injuries for me to pursue it further. So in 1960, he asked me to join him at KTOP. They were hot 40. Every teenager in town listened to this new style. You could drive along the cars and park in popular drive-ins, and every radio would be turned to KTOP about the feeling of power. Radio 1 with Bob Barber, Charlie Jackson, Jay Chancellor, Professor at the College of Knowledge. When I arrived, I didn't think suitable for hip swinging teens, and so they changed my radio name to Tony Kurtis. With a claim. Merle and I talked about what we thought was the root part of things like that, but I survived it. I lasted about 6 months, same time, same station, same writers, and I couldn't think of it. So I switched to WNW and started a television career. Merle didn't hold it against me too long. At that point, I'll let you pick up the story. I don't have to repeat it. Built on that strong foundation, Topeka became Merle's independence at Magic County. Kansas Broadcasting's Hall of Fame, Advertising Man of the Year, Chairman of the Washington Board of Regents, no better soul could have been selected to lead the Topeka Chamber of Commerce for almost 20 years. He was Topeka. Merle was devoted to his family, to his city, to his profession, and to his university. He was rock solid. It proves his theory that Nobel Prize winner Salman Rushdie has a meaning of The Wizard of Oz, a story that is very close to us in Kansas. It's on a billboard coming in from Kansas City shortly before I arrived the Oz Museum. Rushdie fell in love with this story early in his life. He was an immigrant and moved from Switzerland to London. He thought that the story was talking to him. I was surprised to learn that it was his favorite story, and he interpreted it differently than most. He thinks the story is not about Dorothy following the yellow brick road to go home, but rather to leave home and find a new home in the Emerald City, and there make a new family, a community, all to serve. You ready to test Kansas? And that's fun. After the Civil War, we were a place everybody wanted to come because it was a free state. Slaves wanted to come here. Cowboys driving herds 600 miles out from Texas and Oklahoma wanted to come. They actually called it the Promised Land because we had the best native grass in the world for the cows. Europeans read ads in newspapers and came for free land. And all together they brought their values and cultures and experiences that were mixed into a common experience where success was measured in the amount of rain that fell in a season, or where the markets happened to be when the cattle were ready to be sold. Everyone was subject to the same trials, and that made them stronger. It made them Kansans. Out of that stock rose generations of youngsters who followed their own roads and faced many obstacles to reach their Emerald City and make it even better. We got here to pay tribute to one of our own who did just that. Merle Blair learned his valuable lessons in the magic little town of Independence. Find something you love as early as you can and work on it like there's no tomorrow. To bring these remarks to an end, I followed Merle's yellow brick road, and it led me back to his basement studio. It was filled with albums and turntables and a microphone. It looked, yes, just like that line from KIMB. I thought, what can I find here that might sum up Merle's passion, his life? And like others today, I found some lyrics that seemed appropriate. When all the world is a hopeless jungle, and the raindrops tumble all around, leading from your window pane to a place beyond the sun, just a step beyond the rain. Somewhere over the window, skies are blue,